Hi everybody, welcome to another edition, can I call it an edition? Welcome to another edition, of Waiting on Books vlog, and I'm Julie Reece, and I'm here today to talk to you about my young adult Southern Gothic book, The Artisans. So here's the cover, because, I don't know, is it big enough? I don't know, maybe we can get one bigger. But anyways, yeah. So that is my cover of my book, and I'm here for a Q&A. So we will get on with the questions. Question number 1, what's your story about? Well, I'll tell you what, it's not about werewolves. Gosh, I wish people would quit asking me that. Well, it's a young adult Southern Gothic. Has a pretty good creep factor going. It's very, very loosely based on Beauty and the Beast. Didn't really start out that way, but it sort of morphed into that. And the story takes place in a little town in South Carolina, and a girl loses her mother, and the only family she has left is her stepdad, who is drowning his grief and his sorrow over losing his wife with alcohol and gambling, and he's not doing a good job taking care of his family. So it's kind of left to Raven to grow up pretty fast, and she uses her gift of being this incredible seamstress to create clothes for people, and that is how they're getting by. That's how they're making their money. That's how they're eating. They're surviving based on her skill. But one night, her stepdad crosses the wrong family, and he gets into a lot of debt with the Maddox family, who's an incredibly powerful family in the town. And so Raven is left to go plead her stepfather's case. She goes to the mansion and has an audience with the prince, with Gideon Maddox. And he offers her a deal. He says, I'll tell you what, I will forgive your stepfather's debt against my family, and I will even send the man to rehab. But in exchange, you have to move into the mansion with me, and you have to design clothing for my father's failing clothing business for 1 year. And Raven cannot believe what she's hearing. Of all the things that she thought she might have to do, this wasn't one of them. But she really has no choice. If she wants to save her stepfather, who she loves, and he's all she has left. Gideon's got her over a barrel, and he knows it. So she moves in because she just doesn't feel like she's got any options. But once she's in there, there's a lot of things that start happening, scary things. And she starts to realize that she's not alone, like she thought she was. And there's some mystery there, and she becomes determined to figure out what that is in order to free herself and the others that are trapped there, and even Gideon himself, even though he doesn't know it yet. What inspired you to write this story? I always have loved fairy tale retellings, fairy tales themselves, mythology, fantasy. I was raised on Mother Goose fairy tales. So this story actually started off as like a funky twist on the Elves and the Shoemaker, which is a Grimm fairy tale. And the more I wrote, though, it started just sort of taking over. When I write, sometimes that happens, and the characters and the plot just sort of take off, and I feel like I'm running, trying to keep up with writing down as fast as I can whatever it is they're doing next. And so that's what happened with this story. It has a Beauty and the Beast vibe, but it didn't start out that way. It just sort of happened, and I just kind of went with it. And oddly, there's no elves in this story. They kind of became ghosts and spirits and hauntings. And the shoemaker kind of turned into this pretty cool, glitzy teen girl who was extremely gifted, genius really, in making clothing. And his wife turned into this lovable housekeeper, and the shoemaker's extreme poverty sort of took a metaphorical twist and became a monster to overcome. And the story just sort of wrote itself. And I just kind of enjoyed letting it unfold. So that's the genesis of it. It's kind of crazy and twisted, but that's how we got from A to B. Okay, question number 3. Am I a plotter or a pantster? I remember the first time I ever heard those words. I didn't know what they meant. I had to look them up because, frankly, I didn't want to be anything called either a plotter or a pantster. They sounded kind of toad-like to me and kind of creepy. And then I read that a plotter is somebody who meticulously plans out their whole book, and they separate all the chapters, and they do these deep character analysis before they even type a single word, and they're super organized. Nope. I am definitely a pantster. Fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl, so. Describe your MC in 5 words. Loyal, creative, strong, suspicious, and caring. What is your favorite scene? Oh, that's a really hard question, because I like my story, and I like a lot of scenes in my story. But one scene I really like a lot is when Raven moves into the mansion. A lot of freaky things start happening around her and then to her, scary things. And one night she's lured outside. She's not even sure if what she sees is real, but it's not going away either. And she's lured outside, and she actually climbs a tree to get a better view of what's going on, and she gets hurt. And Gideon rescues her, and he takes care of her, and he's there when she wakes up in the morning. And he's sitting in a chair next to the bed, and he's got his feet propped up next to her like it's no big deal. And she looks down, and she's not in the same clothes that she was in the night before, and she's not sure how that happened. And he wakes up, and they have a conversation, and things start to change between them at that point, because up until that point, these two, the hatred is real, and they've been circling each other like MMA fighters, ready to take the other one's head off. But things start to change a little bit, and they come to kind of a different understanding. So that seems kind of an awe moment for me. No wolves. I'm telling you, there's no wolves in this. Give me a break. Okay, question 6. Your protagonist and your antagonist are types of food. What are they and why? These easy questions. I think that Gideon would be a ghost pepper because he's a powerful person in the community. He's super hot, and he's just hard to handle. But despite all of that, I think people are really drawn to him because we need interest and we need flavor in our lives, and he's interesting. And he's mysterious. People don't really understand him, why he is the way he is, and he's never boring. And as far as Raven goes, I would say Raven is dark chocolate because she's authentic and she's good for you, even if you don't know it at first. She's good for you, but she's dark, and she's a realist, and I think she could come across sometimes as a little bitter, and it's not true, but I can see how some people might take her that way, and so for that reason, she's probably not for everybody. But for the people who like her, they really, really like her. I just want to thank you guys for watching the video. If you've watched it to this point, God bless you. Because this is my first vlog, and I don't know, you can if you follow me on social media, you can leave a message and tell me whether you think I have a future in broadcasting. I think I might. But regardless, just thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Putting up with my goofballness. It's a new word. And I just want to, if you've read my book, I just thank you. Thank you for reading and for your support and your tweeting and your messages. I really appreciate it. if you haven't read my book and you'd like to give it a try, I hope you will, and I hope you will like it. And heads up, it is a little creepy, but there's also some parts that are sweet and some parts that are kind of sad, and there's some kissing, so yay for that. And I hope you will let me hear from you, because authors love getting feedback. We all love getting feedback. It's huge and important, and it really helps us. And good feedback's like hugs, and we really appreciate that. And negative feedback's more like going to the dentist, I guess. It's less fun, but necessary and important and welcome. So say what you feel. Bring it. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you'll watch the rest of the authors and the other books. Thanks. God bless you. Have a great day. If you follow me on social media, you know my friend. This is my friend. This is Hemingway the cat. Say hi, Hemmy. He says, I was napping, lady, and you're annoying me. I'm sorry.